Hey guys, so in today's video, we are doing a June wrap up. So this month I only read 8 books, which is a little disappointing because I did want to read more than that, obviously. A few of these books I did talk about in an earlier video, but I didn't rate them or explain my true in-depth thoughts about it. The first book that I read was Chamber of Secrets, and that is the second Harry Potter book by J.K. Rowling, and I give that 5 stars. I can't really explain it because it's kind of, I don't know, it's super popular. So the next book that I read was Hunger Games. I give this book 5 stars, and I loved this book so much because it gave a lot of time explaining, like, not the adventure, but kind of them in the arena, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. The next 2 books that I read was Catching Fire and Mockingjay. I gave both of those 4 stars, and I think I like those ones a little bit less just because it was less about the arena and the games and more about them rebelling, which also was amazing, but I like the first one much better. The next book that I read was 5 Feet Apart, and I give this book 3 stars just because I feel like it was lacking the substance that I wanted to get from it, and I'm not sure what I was really expecting going into it. So, 5 Feet Apart is about these 2 teenagers who, what do they have? I'm not sure what they have, but they have a lung issue, and so they can't hang out together, but they end up falling in love. They have to go through the issue that they can't be together, and I'm not sure. I feel like the book was lacking a little oomph. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I was a little bit disappointed in it. I hadn't seen the movie, still have not seen the movie, but maybe the movie's better. I'm not really sure, but it was an okay book. The next book that I read was Prisoner of Azkaban, and I give this book 5 stars. This is the third book in the Harry Potter series. So good. This is my favorite book, my favorite movie, just all around good. Once again, it's a Harry Potter book, so I don't really know how to explain it. The next book that I read was Punk 57, and this book is a pen pal romance, kind of hate to love romance a little bit too. And I give this book 3 stars. I didn't enjoy this book. It was like on the low end of 3 stars. My cousin and I did do like a book talk on this. So if you want to know like our thoughts as we were reading the book, go ahead and watch those videos. But this book is about these 2 kids who were pen pals since they were little kids, and they are in their 12th year of high school, and the boy ends up finding out who the girl really is and how she's kind of fake, and she doesn't really portray herself like the way that she says that she does. So he ends up not talking to her for a few months, and they find out he finds out who she is, and then he pretends to be someone else, and then she falls in love with the guy who he pretends to be, and then he exposes his real self, and then they fall in love. And I think that I didn't like this book because it was like a bully romance, and that's not really my thing because I just want people to be nice to each other. No, yeah, I've read better Penelope Douglas books, let's just say that. So the last book that I read this month was Meet Cute Club, and I give this book 3 stars. Once again, this is kind of the same as 5 Feet Apart. It was lacking the oomph that I needed. It was a really light read, and I kind of enjoyed that because I feel like my mind's been so overwhelmed with things that aren't even like important, and I really did enjoy this book, but it wasn't my favorite thing in the world. Those were the 8 books that I read. I know this video is going to be super short because I wish that I did read more books this month, but I read so much in the first bit of June, and in the end of June I just wasn't feeling it. Now I'm going to do a little TBR because this is what I did last month, because I don't want to film a whole TBR by itself because I change my mind depending on how I feel for what books I want to read. So currently I am reading Lovers, which is the second one in the Voyeur series, and I'm gonna try and finish that by tonight. It's actually really good. So I recommend that series. I feel like I've only given the books 3 stars, but like a high 3 stars, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed them like reading through the books. Another book I just bought, Grey by E.L. James, which is 50 Shades of Grey told in Christian Grey's perspective, and I love that trilogy. So I'm really excited to read that book this month. I also want to read Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, just because I need something other than romance, because I feel like I'm not connecting with any of the romances, so I'm just not feeling them. But I am really excited to read Sharp Objects. I've had it for 2 months, I think, and I haven't read it yet. I also want to read The Silent Patient. I don't actually really know what that one's about, so. And I want to read You, because I love that TV series and I'm just really excited to read it. I'm not quite sure what videos will be up this month based on the books that I want to read. So those are all the books that I want to read this month. I'll probably add more, might not even read the ones that I mentioned, but I hope you enjoyed this video anyhow, and I'll see you next time. Bye!